Comprehensive Comics. That Infinite Conquest. Chapter 31. Will you join us, Claire Cagino? After telling all the truth, Mojay invited the black-haired girl in front of him to join the group. But because the amount of information was too large, Claire's brain went into a shutdown state. Claire, the black-haired girl, sat there blankly. She used to think that the world was quite simple. She could practice swordplay, go to school, join the knights after graduation, or come back to inherit the family business. But now I realize that it is just a surface used by the world to hide undercurrents. I feel bored just because I didn't trigger the hidden plot. Today she was involved. I didn't expect that such an incredible thing would happen in this world. But now, as long as she holds Mojay's hand, there is no doubt that Claire Cagino's life will deviate from its original trajectory, will be greatly changed, and her world will be expanded. But, I'm sorry, please allow me to refuse. Is that really the case? Faced with Claire's rejection, Mojay was not surprised at all. Rejection is natural. This girl has not yet experienced the despair of losing everything. Her devil possession was cured by Mojay when it was still in its early stages, and she had not been exposed to her family and friends in the past. Therefore she was not treated as a demon, not abandoned by his parents, not disliked by friends, not hurt by malice. She was very lucky not to experience despair. What a lucky girl this is. Mojay couldn't help but think of the girls in Dark Knight Courtyard. They were all people who had lost everything and had no nostalgia for the outside world. For them now, there are only a few things worth caring about. First, the will of Lord Mojay. Second, peers who have had the same experience. Third, the destruction of the Order of Diablos. It's a good thing to have a home you can go back to. Work hard to gain strength in the future. After all, in this dangerous world, you still have to protect your own safety. Your Highness, I remember this kindness. If you need my help in the future, just ask. Well, although for you, a country noble like me probably can't do much. Well, that's true. I can't think of anything you can do to help. There is no mercy at all. The corners of Claire Cagino's eyes twitched. But she was quite satisfied. The second prince in front of her was much better than those pretentious aristocratic young men at the banquet. Mojay's ears moved, and he heard that Alpha and the others had already dealt with Olba. Okay, it's almost time for me to go back and finish the last thing. What? In the name of this prince, I order you to forget everything about me today. The Gios crest in Mojay's left eye flashed, and Claire's eyes were shrouded in red light. As you command, my king. She nodded blankly, and her brain deleted today's memory of Mojay. Although she is an interesting girl, Mojay will not let her information leaked. The fact that the leader of Dark Knight Courtyard is Mojay is a secret and cannot be known to any outsiders. If you find out, you will be killed without mercy. Alpha and the others will never let you go. Mojay turned and left. Why am I here? After a while, Claire came back to her senses and looked around blankly. She remembered that she was kidnapped by the Diabol's order, that her devil possession was cured, and that she was rescued. Who saved me? Why can't I remember what happened? Claire put her head in her hands and frowned. It feels like putting the pieces of a puzzle together at the end, only to find that the most crucial piece in the middle has been taken away by someone. It's so uncomfortable. This is. Suddenly she noticed a cloak on her shoulders. I don't know if it's time to put it on my shoulders, but it still carries a warm body temperature that is not my own. Claire grabbed the black cloak, stared at it with red eyes for a while, and then put it on her shoulders again. I will definitely remember it. Lord Anya, is this okay? Well, ignorance is also a kind of happiness. Only in this way can she continue to live in the sun. Hey, this time she is so boring. Mojay yawned. How long has it been since his sword drank the enemy's blood? The deviant sword is in the space scabbard, almost rusty. He raised his hand and touched Zeta's head skillfully. The animal-eared girl felt very good. Although they belong to the golden leopard tribe, they are also cats. If petting a cat is a kind of happiness, then petting a cat girl is a kind of bliss. Zeta, who was originally a cool girl, now blushed and lowered her head, her tail wagging back and forth. Alpha, What's the harvest this time? Yes, we have obtained the latest drug developed by the sect. It seems to be a simulation of devil possession. It can instantly double the strength, but the side effects are very strong. I plan to let Ida study it. Ida, that kid has been a little too busy recently. I'll find someone else to analyze it later. Mo Jie touched his chin. He remembered that his dear sister Wang also had a partner who was very good at drug research. The name seems to be Tilty Carreret. You guys should go back first. I'll go to Beta to have a look, although there shouldn't be any accidents. Yes, I'll leave it to you. Mo Jie opened the door to space, letting Alpha and others go back first, and then opened another door with a swipe. As a result, he didn't wait for him to step in. Then I saw the silver-haired and green-haired elves gritting their teeth, with ferocious expressions on their faces, and with no trace of the elegance that the elves should have, going on a killing spree. Mo Jie, who was frightened by the other side of his subordinate, was stunned in place for 5 seconds. It was almost like going straight back. Ah, it's rare that we go on a mission together, Epsilon. Haha, yes, it's a rare opportunity, Beta. Somewhere in the forest. Dark Night Courtyard, the two beautiful elves in the 7 shadows are looking at each other with smiles. But both men's subordinates smelled the inexplicable smell of fire magic. Beta, the second seat of the 7 shadows. A beautiful and lovely silver-haired elf, his pitiful appearance can easily arouse his protective desire, and his unusually well-developed figure and the tear mole at the corner of his eye make him even more charming. Epsilon, the 5th seat of the 7 shadows. The elf is as cute and beautiful as the former, with hair as clear as a lake, deftly tied into twin tails, extremely delicate facial features, and a bright soprano voice that goes well with the piano. Run quickly, devil, these 2 elves are demons. Don't kill me, don't kill me. The 2 are carrying out Mo Jie's mission. Annihilate all thieves in the nearby area. The 2 girls know very well that these scum are garbage that does not need to exist in the Lord's ideal world. Therefore, the thieves who used violence to cause countless tragedies in the past are now being punished with greater violence by the Dark Night Courtyard. The leader who commanded them was the first to die. Because he was captivated by the beauty of Beta and Epsilon, he had just talked so wildly about taking the 2 girls as his slaves. He has now paid the price for this nonsense and has become a piece of meat on the ground. However, although they were completing the task faithfully, Beta and Epsilon's attention was completely on each other, and there was something black hidden in their narrowed eyes. Speaking of which, I was praised yesterday when I reported to the Lord. My hair was said to be beautiful. What a waste of words. Yes, hehehehe. The corners of Beta's lips twitched wildly, and the hand holding the sword gradually became stronger, and Epsilon shook his twin ponytails as if to show off. The hair looks even more elegant under the moonlight, which is a beauty that Beta does not possess. But the silver-haired elf also has his own weapons. So, when I woke up from a nightmare the night before yesterday, I happened to meet the Lord who was coming back from a walk. Haha, it turned out that the Lord told me a new bedtime story. A bedtime story from the Lord. Epsilon gritted his teeth in envy. This time it was Beta who raised her head proudly, her eyes full of superiority, yes, full of it. As if she was deliberately emphasizing, she stood up for something that Epsilon did not possess. Although the 2 slimes were slightly inferior to her in appearance, they were the perfect match for her in terms of figure. At present, the surrounding Dark Night Courtyard members turned a blind eye and concentrated on cleaning up the thieves. They were obviously used to this matter. As an original member of the courtyard, the 2 really trust and value each other. After all, they are important partners who have overcome trials and shoulder the same ideals. They can even be said to be family members. Usually there are basically no disputes. Well, basically. Such hair will only get in the way during battle, right? How about cutting it short like mine, she, long. Ha. Even though you are already so old, you are still pestering the Lord to tell you a bedtime story. How childish. Beta. Allah, do you want to be favored by the Lord with your figure? As an elf, you must be self-aware, she, long. HMPH, you're the one here. The Lord must also find it very troublesome. After all, this certain person used to be a super crybaby. Beta, and I'm still in the growth stage and it's not over yet. Yee. The weapons in their hands were swung harder and harder, roaring like thunder, but after all, they were companions, so they would not really fall on each other. So the thieves were out of luck. Don't come over here. They burst into tears and tried to escape. These thieves are also men, and as long as they are men, they will inevitably have fantasies about the beautiful opposite sex, and elves are the perfect fantasy targets. But now, Beta and Epsilon are extinguishing that beautiful fantasy and instead searing nightmares into their souls. Thieves. It's terrible, the elves are so terrible, the elves are so terrible. This is a race that kills without blinking an eye and still smiles. The two of them had no intention of stopping. They were smiling but staring at each other with gritted teeth. As for why the relationship between the two is so good, it can only be said that like repels each other. As expected, you are my biggest enemy, Beta. This is what the Lord calls like repelling each other, Epsilon. The two women looked directly at each other, with high fighting spirit. These two elves know very well. Among companions, each other is the best at sneaking away. Alpha has an upright aura, Gamma doesn't know how to play tricks, Delta doesn't have that kind of brain, Zeta looks cool on the surface, but will be shy when his master touches his head, and Eta admires his master's knowledge the most. Only each other, the best at using cunning means. And what happens when two sneaking cats run into each other? When the sneak targets are the same person, people of the same sex will never attract each other, they will only repel each other. Let's fight it out, Epsilon. Agreed, let's see who kills the most thieves. Whoever loses, let me think about it, show your ugliness to the Lord. Okay, don't regret it then, Beta. So the two elves went on a rampage at the same time, killing like berserkers with a posture that was completely devoid of the elegance and beauty of the elves. Then at this moment, the door to space was opened, and Mojay who walked out happened to see this scene. Mojay, what are these two people doing? What are these two people doing? Mojay's expression is very subtle. Seeing the two elves killing the thieves like ghosts and gods, he subconsciously took 2 steps back. Maybe I shouldn't have come to see the situation. It was just fine to go back with Alpha and the others just now. In the past, the girl who was as well behaved as 2 puppies in front of him now showed a scene that was even more frenzied than a berserker. To be honest, the impact is quite big. By the way, regarding what Beta and Epsilon showed off to each other just now, the following is the testimony of Mojay, a person at the time. When Epsilon was on duty a few days ago, he changed his hairstyle 30 times in one day. I felt like I couldn't praise him enough, so I did. Last time when I came back from a walk at night, I found Beta looking into my bedroom with a pillow. After being discovered, she acted coquettishly and said she wanted to listen to me tell bedtime stories like she did when she was a child. So whether it is exaggerating hair or telling stories, Mojay is not voluntary in a sense, so, what are these two people showing off? It just feels inexplicably empty. After Mojay hesitated, he waved to an orc girl not far away. The summoned girl immediately ran to him and knelt down on one knee. Lord Anya, what are your orders? Well, it's over with Alpha. I'm here to see what's going on now. I am performing a very ordinary mission, please don't pay attention. Yes, really, Mojay decided not to delve into it further. Even though he has a very high prestige among the girls in the courtyard, he is still a boy after all, and there is an unbridgeable gap with girls called gender. It is said in the book of the previous life that Mojay thinks it makes sense. After all, men and women are creatures that can never understand each other. It is so difficult for them to understand each other that they can even conquer the world. Lord. At the same time, Beta and Epsilon also discovered Mojay's arrival, and they ran to him and knelt down on one knee in front of him, almost teleporting. Then the most perfect smile appeared instinctively. To be honest, it is indeed a beautiful smile. Normally Mojay would smile back, but now. Ahem, what about that? You two should wipe the blood from your faces first. Beta and Epsilon blinked, and after looking at each other, they realized the problem. They were too focused on grabbing heads just now, and they seemed to have forgotten to keep up their appearance. I recalled it a little in my mind. The two of them wanted to bury their heads in the ground. What on earth did I do? The Lord will not see it. Close black lens bracket. The perfect image I maintained before the Lord in the past is now completely gone. Close black lens bracket. The young girls' subordinates all around them closed their eyes sensibly and expressed their understanding. Everyone wanted to maintain a perfect image in front of the Lord. The two adults of Qiang are now facing the crisis of image collapse. They are hated by the Lord and so on. Just thinking about it makes them feel better to die. Beta and Epsilon lowered their heads and shivered. This embarrassed and humble posture would not be revealed even if the enemy put a sword on their necks. But now the possibility of being hated by Mojay has been revealed. Ahem, I didn't see anything when I first came here. I didn't expect you two to be so efficient. Well, it's excellent. Is there any reward you want? Lord, Beta and Epsilon looked up suddenly, their eyes full of disbelief and surprise. It's like finding an oasis in the desert. There is hope for help this time. How dare I, my subordinates? It is our honor to serve our Lord. That's right. For the Lord's lofty ideals, we will definitely remove all obstacles. At this moment, the two of them had the illusion that they had survived a desperate situation. They never expected that not only did they save their image they didn't, but they also received a commendation from the Lord. The girls around who knew the truth were moved by the kindness of their master, who was worthy of being Lord Anya. Mojay has adjusted his mentality. No matter what, they are girls who work hard for themselves. For their own ideals, they are even willing to abandon their image and become the most devout berserker. This is loyalty. This is loyalty. It's really great. Ahem, Beta, Epsilon, thank you, but you are all beautiful girls. Don't let the enemy's blood stain your beautiful faces, or I will feel sorry for you. Mojay lifted the two women's chins with his left and right hands respectively, carefully wiped the blood on their faces with a handkerchief, and commented on the two women with the gentlest eyes. Many, such gentle words. My lord. The two girls were trembling all over, so happy that they almost fainted on the spot. They couldn't help but crawl forward, each holding Mojay's legs tightly. The surrounding thieves were also collectively dumbfounded. What the hell is this? The two women who had just responded with absolute violence, knocked the people they killed off their feet, and shattered their dreams, dignity, and even lives. Now he was kneeling on the ground without any image, hugging the legs of the boy who suddenly appeared, like two pets coquettishly showing off to their master. This huge contrast made them want to curse. Poof. Then before the curse could be uttered, a certain girl threw out the sword in her hand and killed the man. The other girls also cast threatening glances. The meaning is very obvious. If you dare to disturb and ruin the atmosphere, I'll kill you immediately. Okay, let me do it next. I haven't had the chance to do it recently. I made a lot of new magic weapons, but they all ended up sitting in the dust. Mojay touched the two girls' heads to let go. This prince is really helpless. I have made so many excellent weapons, but in the end I didn't meet any enemy who was qualified for me to use them. Not to mention asking Mojay to draw his sword. Not even qualified to fight him. Maybe in the past, you had no choice but to fight it yourself, or use Gios to order it to commit suicide, but since Dark Knight Courtyard has gradually grown in size, Mojay basically has no chance to make a move. When someone is disrespectful to him, without Mojay taking action himself, the girl in the courtyard will angrily tear the enemy's mouth to pieces and pierce the enemy's heart. Is there no opponent in this world that I can happily fight against? Hey, forget it, I'll just kill you like this time. I'll bear with you. Mojay glanced at them briefly, and he instantly understood the general strength of these thieves. All are super weak. He squinted his eyes and picked up a small branch from the ground. Feel honored, thieves. I will be your opponent in person. This is just a souvenir when you go to that world. Mojay said with great arrogance, letting his magic power pass through the branch and using it as a sword. Jew, you actually look down on us so much. Damn it, I don't give you any face at all. He's just a brat. As promised, save yourself and don't let those women help you. The thieves also drew their swords one after another, staring at Mojay with eyes full of anger, envy and jealousy. It was obvious from one look that this young man was from a different world than his own. He was dressed in fine clothes, had a noble posture, and was arrogant as a matter of course. There is no doubt that they are the naturally dominant class. But the most important thing is, they are jealous that Mojay has so many girls around him. Especially Beta and Epsilon. both of them have beautiful looks and strong strength. She is already very attractive now, and there is no doubt that she will be a beauty that men look up to but cannot reach in the future. As a result, she was so humble in front of this young man. The goddess in their eyes was actually a licking dog next to others. Damn, I'm so envious of you. No matter what, I'll beat this kid. Close black lens bracket. Even if he is strong, we have more life here, so the advantage is mine. Close black lens bracket. HMPH, just teach him a lesson in front of these women. Keep half of your magic power and be ready to escape at any time. Close black lens bracket. HMPH. Mojay chuckled and raised the corners of his lips. It's really nostalgic. No matter in which world men are virtuous, they will always have disputes over women. It's really hopeless. If that's the case, then let me take all the beauties in the world into my bag, so that you don't have to fight over them. I should bear this pain alone. Come on, monks. Oh, a weak sword, but with good momentum. Mojay commented calmly. Under the disbelief of the thieves and the adoration of the girls, Mojay used tree branches as swords and cut off the swords in their hands and himself. What beautiful swordsmanship! Like a flawless full moon, there is no flaw in the slightest. Every move and style is completely natural. Anyone who uses the sword will be stunned and intoxicated. How is it possible? Only one branch is used. What's impossible? How can a frog sitting in a well and looking at the sky understand true power? And the so-called true strong man, even a blade of grass can cut down the stars, and a grain of sand can fill up the sea. Mojay declared so loudly. He waved the branch in his hand, and as long as he poured magic power into it to strengthen its quality, and then found the right angle to strike, he could cut even the steel sword. Damn it, I completely lost. The thief with a bit of backbone took a deep look at Mojay, as if he wanted to imprint his appearance in his eyes before he died. I saw the bright light of the moon falling on the young man's body, holy and transcendent. The eyes that only the strong can have, seemed to say that I am the only one in the world. And, Lord and ye. The girls in the courtyard who also saw this awe-inspiring appearance were filled with admiration, and Beta and Epsilon almost fainted again. The former immediately took out a notebook from his collar. The bottomless ravine. He drew a sketch with a hand speed that could only see the afterimage, and recorded Mojay's words word for word. The whole process only took less than 5 seconds, which is simply a miracle. A little addition here. Beta's personal bedroom is covered with Dark Knight's quotations and Dark Knight's paintings. The girl's greatest pleasure every day is to write about Dark Knight's deeds that day. And occasionally add her own delusions to add her own interactive scenes. Mojay knew that Beta was an elf with great literary talent, but he didn't know how she used her talent. Okay, let's get rid of all the thieves in the north of the kingdom tonight. I will be responsible for 70% of it and leave the rest to you. Mojay took out a black mask and put it on his face. The eyes of the mask were filled with amethysts. This is actually a magic item, with night vision and similar thermal sensing abilities. It is the standard equipment for all members of Dark Knight Courtyard. As you command, my lord. Epsilon and Beta accepted the order regretfully, thinking that it was a pity that they could no longer appreciate their master's sword skills, and then left with their men. Mojay continued to move in another direction, because he was really depressed recently, so he was a little excited tonight. Mojay. Hey. Boring, really boring, I want to watch my blood flow like a river. Close black lens bracket. But when he defeated the next gang of thieves, he discovered unexpected gains. A kidnapped little girl. There are so many human traffickers in this other world. What's your name, little sister? After Mojay solved the last thief, he rescued a little blonde girl who was tied up with a rope. Just by looking at the double spiral golden curls, you can tell that she must be a noble daughter. My name is Rose Oriana. This name sounds familiar. Does it sound like a princess from some country? Mojay touched his chin to check his memory. He had an impression of the little blonde Lolita in front of him, and he quickly thought of it as he had the memory of cheating, not forgetting. Isn't this the little girl I've seen on the bride's waiting list before? Her Royal Highness the Princess of Oriana Kingdom. But why is this princess in the country? And it's still in a tied position. This might be a big diplomatic problem. Thank you for saving me. I was kidnapped by bad guys. They said they were going to sell me to someone. I was so scared. Is that so? That's it. After kidnapping a country's princess, they secretly ran to the border of the kingdom and were ready to find an opportunity to sell her. They are really a group of guys who don't regret death. Moji's eyes swept across the dead thieves coldly, regretting that he let them die too easily. Because of his past life, Moje has a natural hatred for the word human trafficker. If possible, he would really like to kill these scum with his own hands. Okay, congratulations on being saved. Thank you, and also, your sword skills just now are really amazing, more beautiful than any art I have seen so far. Haha, you are quite discerning. She is worthy of being the princess of the country of art. The eyes of the kidnapped little princess were shining. The sword skill Moje performed just now was so beautiful, as if it was the ultimate result of removing all unnecessary things, purifying and purifying again. Rose was mesmerized by the first sight and even forgot about the fear of being kidnapped. On the other side, Moje was also a little happy when his sword skills that he was proud of were praised so sincerely and purely. He immediately raised his hand to touch Rose's little head. I'll take you back. Your parents, your father, queen and mother must be very worried about you. Please pay attention to safety in the future. The pain of parents after losing their children is more painful than any torture. Yeah, I remember. It's obvious that they are about the same age. Ross may even be a bit older, but in front of the mature Moje, she is like a little sister. By the way, Oriana is a bit far away. Well, the difference is not big. Let's use continuous transfer. Please, can you tell me your name? My name. This is a secret. Just treat me as a passing card player. Moje said casually. It happened that he was wearing a mask. There was no need to announce Annie's identity to people other than the enemy. He was just a cute little golden retriever Lolita in front of him. Here comes the ramen passing by. Rose's eyes were sparkling. Fortunately, a child would think it was cool, but an adult would definitely think it was childish. Then Moje opened the door to space, and under Rose's surprised gaze, he took the girl and moved continuously. In less than a few minutes, we arrived at the originally distant country of art, the kingdom of Oriana. That's amazing. This is my official wedding. I'm going to hit you, sir, when I pass by. I want my father and mother to introduce you, When Rose recovered from the surprise of returning home instantly, she realized that the masked boy beside her had disappeared. The little loli stood there blankly. If it weren't for the swordsmanship that was still clear in her mind, she might have thought it was just a dream. We will definitely meet again. By the way, I have to go back to the palace as soon as possible, and then please ask my father to let me learn swordsmanship. Today's adventure was too thrilling. It was the most exciting day in her short life. Rose's face turned red with excitement. Sure enough, the farther the distance, the greater the consumption. Moje reopened a space door and returned to the original realm. If you have not stepped on the land personally, it can only be within the field of vision. On the other hand, if you have been to a place once, you can teleport it. The power of space magic is incredible even without considering its actual combat application. The only drawback is that it consumes a lot of magic power. But this is normal, power comes at a price, but swallowing magic power is already very light, let alone. Moje has the most lack of magic power now. Why is it gone? Suddenly Moje was stunned. He originally planned to take away the gold coins and throw them into an orphanage as usual, but he found that all the gold coins exploded by the thieves had disappeared. Moje. There is Lao Lu. He's the old six who licks his bag when someone fights with him. Just when he was thinking about how to find the culprit. HMPH, what a big harvest tonight. The thieves in this stronghold have hidden a lot of money. This way, as a powerful person of shadow, I will have more funds. It's great. It seems there is no need to look for it. Moje crossed his arms and looked over. I saw a young man of the same age dressed in black, with a bag on his head and 2 holes cut out to expose his eyes, walking out of the thieves' stronghold with a bag of jingling gold coins on his shoulders. See picture. Just like a robber who has just finished a robbery and is about to leave. Quote. Moji's eyes crossed with this man's. No one spoke, but in my heart I said the same thing. This person is really suspicious. He is wandering around in a place like this with a bag mask in the middle of the night. He must not be a good person. Close black lens bracket. So the exchange started with weapons. Clang. The branch in Moji's hand collided with the black sword in the boy's hand. The terrifying sword pressure caused the surrounding area to clear instantly, and the bodies of the thieves were blown away by the sword wind. Oh, he's very strong. Moje and the young man were surprised at the same time. This man's strength was beyond expectation and he was able to take his own sword. Who is coming? Tell me your name. HMPH, I'm a passing fashion thief killer. Quote. I always feel a sense of déjà vu. Moje raised his eyebrows. This registration method always felt familiar, as if he had used it just a few minutes ago. I'm a passing fashion thief killer. The boy with the paper bag signed up like this. His real name is Sid Kagino, and he is the son of the nobleman who rules this remote small area, the second son of the Baron Kagino family. On the surface, he is an ordinary passerby, but secretly he is a young man with extremely strong power and his ideal is to become a powerful person of shadow. This person who suddenly appeared as so strong. Was he the one who defeated these thieves? Today, my sister was kidnapped. I was thinking of going hunting for thieves nearby and doing a casual search, but something unexpected happened. Close black lens bracket. Sid Kagino was stunned. Although he pretends to be an ordinary person on the surface, his strength is actually more than 99.99999% of people in the world. Maybe the young man in front of him is the remaining 0.00001%. He was really surprised to be able to catch his own blow with a mere branch. Boom. Moje and Sid stepped back at the same time, with shock and vigilance in their eyes. Can you actually cut off my branches? Close black lens bracket. You actually used a branch to force me back. Close black lens bracket. You are very strong. Moje casually threw away the broken branches. He opened the storage space, took out a sword without a blade, and looked at the young man in black with interest. The same goes for the other side, repositioning himself. You're the one who killed these thieves. You're awesome. We have a long-lost feeling for each other, so you are the one who took away my spoils. Quote. I picked up these gold coins, so they are mine. Yes, these gold coins were mined by me when I defeated monsters. They are my prince's trophies. Moje pointed to the bag of gold coins carried by Sid. He said that if he keeps the money, he will let you go. Although he is not interested in the money, he does not intend to condone Lao Lu's behavior. The latter was also reluctant. He finally picked up a huge sum of money tonight, how could he just let it go? If you don't give it to me, it will be mine if I pick it up. It seems there is nothing more to say. Moje and Sid raised their weapons at the same time. Just in time, let me test the performance of my slime tights with you. Just in time, let me test the performance of my magic props with you. The two of them showed fighting smiles. In the moment of the fight, they knew that the opponent was a strong one. For two people who could not even find an enemy worthy of drawing their swords. This is truly an encounter worth celebrating. Moje was especially happy. Finally met an enemy worthy of seriousness. This sword can finally be tested in actual combat against humans. So far, it has been used to cut down monsters, and I always feel that it is a little lacking. Moje infused magic into the hilt of the sword in his hand. In the next second, the transparent blade took shape, similar to the lightsaber in Star Wars, except that it was not a plasma sword, but a magic sword. One of the successfully developed magic tools. The magic sword can also be called the magic sword. Oh, what a handsome thing this is. Sid on the other side opened his eyes wide in surprise. He looked at the very bright magic sword that was completely opposite to the low-key black sword in his hand, and the young man's eyes shone. It seems to be some kind of powerful weapon. No, even if it's not awesome, the appearance of the single wheel is enough to make people excited. It's decided, after I defeat you, I will keep this sword. Haha, that's nonsense. If you can do it, then give it a try. In the next second, the duel began that was invisible to the naked eye. Only the sound of swords clashing continuously proved that this was an extremely fierce battle. It's a pity that no one else can witness it, otherwise they would definitely sigh like this. This is a battle that is enough to make all the magic swordsmen in the world so embarrassed that they can hardly hold their swords. Although they were just two teenagers in their early teens, they showed great strength that they could easily win the Martial God Festival. You can even say that the moment these two people decide the winner, it means that the world's strongest swordsman is born. How is it possible? His swordsmanship is so good. They are similar to me. No, the roots are actually the same. After leaving the clock up, no, high-speed combat state, the place where the two fought was in a mess. Every time the sword blades collided, it caused a huge impact on the field. But it doesn't matter. Moj and Sid were surprised and anxious. It's not because of each other's strength. Not because of each other's equipment. But because their swordsmanship is actually the same. Hey, are you a time traveler? Quote. You too. The expressions of the two of them were full of surprise. They never expected to meet fellow villagers from the global village here. No need for any proof, just from those few moves, you can understand that the opponent's sword is the same as your own. They are all perfect swordsmanship after integrating various swordsmanship schools in the previous life and taking the essence and discarding the dross. Originally speaking, in this case, it's not easy to meet an old friend in a foreign country. It is normal to be moved to tears, then put down the sword in your hand, go arm in arm to find a better store, talk about old times, and exchange your own time travel experiences. But that's normal. However, these two people are very self-centered and have big hearts. Moj, it turns out we are from the same hometown. No wonder he is so powerful, but one code equals the other. Sid, so we are from the same hometown. No wonder he has the same sword skills as me. Then let's keep fighting. What if the other party is a time traveler fellow from the global village? It doesn't stop me from wanting to beat him up, rob him. It would be better to say that the two of them were more motivated to fight than before. What if the other party is also a time traveler? It doesn't stop me from wanting to beat him up, rob him now. It's better to say that they are even more motivated to fight than before. People in this world are too weak to make me take it seriously. It's rare to meet a fellow countryman who can fight equally well. How can I be merciful? Ding ding dang 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 dang. Boom 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 boom. It was just a matter of condensing magic power under its feet to accelerate, and the earth was ravaged. The moment the two people stepped on the ground, it shook like an earthquake, leaving their footprints on the ground. The sword is like light and shines like diamond. The magic sword in Moji's hand. The black sword in Sid's hand. They were all swung with extraordinary speed, leaving countless afterimages. So much so that it was obviously just a clash of two swords, but it seemed like there were thousands of swords colliding with each other. It should be fortunate that the two of them were not using metal swords, otherwise even the long sword just made by Oliha would have been damaged by such a fierce collision at this moment. Although it was just the aftermath that they accidentally leaked, it also caused a devastating blow to the surrounding terrain at this moment. The sword blade just sliced through the air, and the sword energy it brought out also cut off all the trees and boulders in front of it. However, in such a terrifying confrontation, the corners of their lips were raised high. Not to mention hostility, but instead talking to each other like friends we haven't seen for a long time. Speaking of which, how did you travel through time? Me, I crossed over after being hit by a dump truck. What a coincidence, so am I. Could it be that time travel is always this way? It's possible, but once you think about the number of traffic accidents around the world every day, if they are all time travel, it would be too much to say. Sid said with a subtle expression. Moj nodded in agreement. If all those who were hit by cars were crossing the road, that would be really serious. Even if there would be a group of people sleeping on the road every day. By the way, where is your system? System. It seems like it hasn't woken up yet. It was probably damaged when traveling through time. It's still charging now. Sid scratched his head. He did have a thing called a system, but he suspected that it might have been damaged by a dump truck and was still being recharged. Moj thought to himself that it was indeed standard equipment. It is recommended that you uninstall that thing. The system is a virus program that seems to corrode and control your body and consciousness. Wow, what's so dangerous about that? I understand. I'll find a way to uninstall it later. I can help you. That thing is quite difficult. I just want to hack the system again after a long time. It feels great. That's not necessary. If it feels good, I want to keep it for myself. What a pity, you can do whatever you want with your system. Mojay shrugged sadly. His EA deviation sword was already thirsty, and he wanted to drink the blood of the dog system immediately. Just as the two were talking, a 10-mile radius had been raised to the ground. It can only be said that it is fortunate that there is no Forest Environmental Protection Association in this world. Finally, there was a blow that broke each other's defense. There was a blood stain on Mojay's cheek. There were also blood marks on Sid's neck. The two of them looked excited. This was so rare. They were actually injured. Go on, it would be a shame if it ended like this. Yeah, I haven't smelled blood for a long time. Let's see who is more powerful. So the next round of conflict began. The two swords, which were imbued with more magic power, brought up a gust of sword wind with just a slight swing, splitting the boulder 10 meters away in half. By the way, what's your name? Sid Kajinor, what about you? Mojay, your name sounds a bit familiar, as if I've heard it somewhere. It's an illusion, this is the first time we've met. The two of them attacked each other mercilessly, while talking to each other like friends. The collision of swords and the happy smiles of the young men were mixed together. Then let's talk about dreams. Sid Kagano, what is your dream? After finally being reincarnated, what do you want to achieve in this world? Yes, my dream has never changed from my previous life. I want to become a powerful person of Shadow. Shadow Powerful One. What is that? Mojay asked curiously. The two of them have resonated with each other at this moment, and with every encounter, their souls are beating with joy. Sid Kagano raised the corners of his lips and showed a pure smile. Ideal, that is what he insists on, it is the only thing brought from the past life to this life. Neither a righteous protagonist nor an evil villain, but a person who controls the darkness, advances the development of the story, and demonstrates strength. This is the one with the power of shadow. His voice is extremely high, and every word he speaks is sonorous and powerful. Only when he talks about his ideals, his eyes sparkle and he finally looks like a child. It is exactly the same as Mojay. To be honest, being a person with the power of shadow is not a serious ideal no matter how you look at it, but Mojay will never deny it or ridicule it. No matter how strange the ideal is, it should not be denied by others, because it is something that is born from everyone and belongs only to everyone. Others have no qualifications and room for evaluation. So he paid his respects. To show respect for the young man who is as committed to his ideals as himself. I've already said it here, so now it's your turn to say it. What is your ideal? Me. My ideal is to become the best king, conquer this world, destroy the old world, and then create a new world of my choice among the ruins. This is really incredible. Sid Kagano's eyes widened in surprise. What an arrogant, yet passionate ideal. Listening to it makes your heart speed up uncontrollably. Is this person so romantic? The way he looked at Mojay also changed. The two people's eyes showed sympathy for each other. Although their personalities, origins, and ideals are different, they are indeed the same kind of people. Therefore, Sid Kajinor, Mojay Paradia, the fierce murderous intention was revealed. For my ideal, I will kill you now. For my ideal, I will kill you now. Had a conversation. Got it. It resonated. So I understand. He is an obstacle to his own ideals. He is an enemy who must die by his own sword. Your ideals are blocking my way, so get out of my way. The swords filled with strength smashed into each other. Neither of them had died just now, they were just exchanging ideas. But now, Mojay and Sid are serious about killing each other. This change is too sudden. But they happened in tacit agreement at the same time. It cannot be allowed. If you fulfill your wish and ascend to the throne of the world, then I will not be able to become my ideal shadow power person. This is the only thing that is absolutely unacceptable. Sid Kagano seriously launched the poisonous attack, using sharp and fierce sword skills, aiming at Mojay's vital points without holding back. He didn't dare to hold back, he felt threatened. Mojay's ideals are too dazzling. If this young man is allowed to ascend the throne of the world, there is no doubt that he will dominate everything. In this way, the power of shadow, which requires freedom and chaos to be established, cannot be established. After all, the popular explanation of Shadow Powerful One is that he is a pretentious person. Sid Kajinor wants to play an awesome character who is ordinary on the surface but powerful behind the scenes, making everyone marvel and talk about it. But there is a necessary condition. That is, his true identity cannot be revealed, and no one knows his true face, so that he can be a qualified shadow power user. Even for this, he has to silence Mo-jae. I don't allow it, either. Are you kidding me? If you become a person with the power of shadow, it means that there is a shadow under my throne. What I want is everything in the world. Is it the king's land in the whole world? No way. Allow your arrogance. Mo-jae also roared. The one with the power of shadow. A person who quietly promotes the development of the dark side of the story and has absolute strength. Sid Kaigenor's ideal, from a certain perspective, can be said to be the king of the other world, which undoubtedly touches Mo-jae's reverse scale. There is no need for two kings in this world. If Mo-jae is the blazing sun during the day, Nashid is the cold moon of the night, it can be said that their ideals are absolutely incompatible. The sun wants to illuminate the darkness, and the moon also wants to make the night last forever. Although they respect each other's ideals and resonate with each other, this does not mean that they will tolerate concessions. If someone is willing to surrender and give in, the problem will be solved, but this is 1000% impossible. The aloof shadow warrior will never surrender to anyone. If he surrenders, Sid Kaigenor's dream will be shattered at that moment. And the king who rules the world broke the shackles system set by the gods at the age of 7. The king can die in battle, but he will never bow his head. This world is the stage for them to realize their ideals. But there is no need for two protagonists on the same stage. Therefore, this stage, the world is mine, get the hell out of me, this prince my uncle. Boom. They slashed each other with swords again. The two of them were knocked upside down at the same time. Their sword-holding hands were slightly numb, clearly conveying their determination to never give in to each other. From now on it is no longer a competition, but real. A duel where they risk their lives for each other's ideals. No, fight to the death. Comma 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 comma. Go to hell, restrictions lifted. Take the move, dark spin. Mo-jae ordered the sword to break through its own limits, injecting more magic power than the magic sword could allow, and the next second the blade extended by tens of meters. Small curry stick. The same was true for Sid. His black sword also grew dozens of meters longer, and the compressed magic power brought terrifying destructive power. Drink ah 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 ah. The moment the sword blades collide, the forest was cut in half instantly. There was even an abyss of 10,000 meters on the ground. Although there was no direct hit, they were indeed injured. Mo-jae straightened his back and spit blood. Sid Kaigenor swayed and stood still. It seems that I am slightly better. The latter showed excitement. Mo-jae couldn't help but squinted his eyes. The power of both sides is almost the same, but the difference is Sid has excellent armor. That pitch-black jacket blocked most of the damage and was not damaged at all. It was simply an incredible suit. The same goes for the black sword. It is definitely not made of metal, and can even be said to be a bit soft. I see, is it a slime? What a keen eye, just as you said. Sid Kaigenor proudly patted his suit and introduced it like a winner. This is the highest masterpiece I have developed. The slime-tight suit, and the slime sword. It has a 99% magic transmission rate. As long as you inject magic power, you can change the form at will. As we all know, slimes are liquid creatures, and no matter what the impact is, their kinetic energy will be greatly reduced once they enter the water, so their defense is also extremely strong. Sid Kaigenor even proudly turned around in a circle to show Mo-jae his masterpiece. In his opinion, he had already won. However, Mo-jae's expression remained unchanged. Instead of panicking, he asked questions seriously. Oh, but as far as I know, although slime's magic conductivity is high, it is extremely difficult to control, and the magic circuit is also different from humans. You are still so eager to learn at this juncture. Okay, let me tell you the trick. It's actually very simple. I mixed my own flesh and blood into the slime, and connected the monster's magic circuit with my own. Quote. Sid proudly showed off that such horrifying behavior was also proof of his consciousness. I see, I understand, thank you for your answer, then. I will accept this technology as a trophy later. Mo-jae finally showed a sly smile. He casually threw away the overloaded magic sword, and then took out new weapons from his portable space. Let the second round begin. Buzz buzz, buzz buzz buzz. This is. The moment this weapon was unveiled, Sid Kagano lost his composure. Looking at the new weapon Mo Jae took out, his whole body couldn't help but feel a chill. That's a chainsaw. No, it should be said to be a purple sword with a chainsaw shape. There is a gear structure hidden in the sword body that can be rotated by magic power. After Mo Jae injects magic power, it immediately makes an energetic, buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. See picture. Even the chainsaw gradually turned red, and this chainsaw magic sword also contained a fire attribute elf stone. Mo Jae, your slime suit is really awesome, with high magic and physical resistance, but, do you think a mere liquid can block a cutting slash with fire attributes? Sid. Mo Jae, when making the suit, the slime used was not rock slime, right? If not, then why don't I chop it all up and evaporate it for you? Buzz 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 buzz. The chainsaw magic sword kept roaring. This purple sword carries indescribable domineering power, as if it wants to cut everything in the world into pieces. Ola 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 ola. Don't hide if you can. If you're a man, fight head on. Mo Jae waved his sword arrogantly. Different from the graceful and exquisite sword skills just now, what he is wielding now is a kind of domineering sword, which can be opened and closed with unparalleled domineering power. Just looking at the aura makes people afraid to pick up the sword. Damn it, the compatibility is so bad. Sid Kagano gritted his teeth and tried his best to avoid Mo Jae's sword, but even so, he would be hit by the chainsaw from time to time. Then the slime suit that he was proud of suffered a disaster. Originally, the slime suit could heal itself even if it was hit. After all, water can merge with each other. But Mo Jae's chainsaw magic sword doesn't allow it. The proud defense will be immediately ineffective as long as it is touched by the sword. The slime's kinetic energy is wiped out, unable to stop the chainsaw's cutting. In addition, Mo Jae also placed a fire attribute elf stone in the sword. After cutting it on the slime suit, it will immediately produce an evaporation effect. I didn't expect my slime suit to have such a flaw. Damn it, why haven't I found it yet? Sid Kagano is full of remorse. But this is of course, because he has never encountered a magician so far, and the thieves used to test their performance in the past were only magic swordsmen. He had never encountered an elemental attack. I admit that your suit is excellent, but the material you chose is wrong. Fire, water, thunder, grass, wind, and ice slime are not immune to elemental reactions. Only the most stable rock slime can the suit become perfect. Yeah, I wish I'd discovered that before today. Haha, it doesn't matter. I will help you improve it later, so just feel free to lose to me. Quote comma 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 quote. The corners of Sid's eyes twitched wildly. As a person with the power of shadow, he should remain calm at all times, but now he is really in a huge crisis. If he hadn't thought of Mo Jae's solution to the ending, he would have died today. It doesn't matter. But the important thing is that once he loses, he will no longer be able to become a powerful person of shadow. His ideal powerful person is an absolutely strong person who will never lose. Believe in yourself, think of a solution quickly. The more human beings are at their limits, the more they can break through themselves, and now is that moment. How can we defeat the whole person? How can we kill him? Close black lens bracket. The thought of running away never occurred. Not only do those with true shadow power never retreat, but so do true kings. Open black lens bracket. There is a way. Future king, let you experience it. For me, even if I give up my sword, I will still be the strongest. Close black lens bracket. It is impossible to win in close combat. Therefore, Sid gave up the sword that he was good at. He took a dozen steps back to distance himself in humiliation, and then his slime suit turned into liquid bullets and shot towards Mo Jae. Ha, do you want to play remotely? Mo Jae narrowed his eyes. It was indeed a good idea. That slime suit was really convenient. Sid discarded all the extraneous designs on the suit, including the skirt, hood, collar, cloak, etc., and turned these slimes into ammunition. For the ideal shadow warrior, a handsome image is very important, so Sid designed the suit to be very handsome. But now I can no longer worry about appearance. If close range doesn't work, use long range. The power of every drop of these slimes infused with my magic power cannot be underestimated. Without armor, you will only be shot to death by my kite. Quote. Even though he said so, someone's expression looks very uncomfortable. Guwu. The one I am aiming for should have the absolute strength to defeat all dangers head-on. But now it seems that I still have insufficient training. It's true that you haven't practiced enough, but you won't have a chance in this life. You can continue in the next life. Mojay split the slime bullets with a sword with one hand, and opened his storage space with the other hand, with a smile that could be described as cruel and devilish. The next weapon was taken out. You want to play remote control, right? That's great, then I will play with you to the fullest. This. You actually made this thing. How is that possible? Don't be surprised. I have a lot of knowledge from my past life in my head, a genius sister, and subordinates of an experimental maniac. Mojay grabbed the handle of the weapon. The shell is as black as night and has 6 long, black and thick pipes, with a total length of more than 7 meters. It is more domineering, exaggerated and unreasonable than the chainsaw magic sword just now. Those who know will be scared out of their wits at just one glance. This is the modified version of Gatling, the ultimate violence demon. As for the revolver that was originally made, I don't know where it was thrown away by Mojay. Mojay, Namo Gatling Bodhisattva, with 6 pure depleted uranium bullets, 3,600 revolutions in one breath, saves the world with great mercy. Hi bro, are you ready to repent? Sid, with Mojay pulling the trigger. Ta 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 ta. The unreasonable super heavy firepower made those with shadow strength no longer dare to worry about the slightest bit of force, and ran at full speed to dodge this extreme firepower. Bunkers and such are simply a luxury. Because this was not a Gatling that humans could use at all, Sid Kajinor broke into a cold sweat. He seemed to vaguely remember. This type of Gatling should have been placed on aircraft carriers to defend against air fighters. Only in this magical world can one use human power to carry out strafing. This is cheating. There has to be a limit to how outrageous it is. Can you have some fighting styles from around the world? I don't care, times have changed. Let's make a big change. Quote, quote. Sid didn't dare stop. Although with his sword skills, even Gatling's bullets can hit him, but this breath rotates 3,600 times, and he will be beaten into a hornet's nest after holding on for at least 10 seconds. Although the slime suit has strong defense, it can only withstand 100 rounds of bullets at most. The liquid suit will be scattered by the impact of the bullets. In short, it must not be resisted head-on. But although it was of no use, he also obtained new information. Sid, with such a serious phobia of lack of firepower, there is no doubt that this person must have been a flower farmer before reincarnation. Mojay, haha, you have a good vision. Da 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 da. The Gatling gun kept spinning. It can fire thousands or even tens of thousands of bullets per minute, and each bullet can cause a hole of more than 10 centimeters on the ground. Sid could only seize the opportunity, pour his magic power and slash the ground with his sword to scrape away the dirt, and instantly made a simple trench to hide in. Can't be wrong. With such a severe phobia of lack of firepower, and the tilt of firepower like a man possessed, there is no doubt that this person must have been a flower farmer before he was reincarnated. By the way, your bullets are endless. He really wanted to report Mojay for using the unlimited bullets cheat. The fire snake hasn't stopped since it first started, chasing him and shooting at him for several minutes. Where did so many bullets come from? Besides, it should be overheated anyway. Of course it's impossible to have endless bullets, but don't worry, I won't skimp on consumables in battle. I have plenty of ammunition. Mojay showed a confident smile. With space magic, he can be said to be a mobile arsenal. Now he always has 100,000 rounds of ammunition when he goes out. Don't ask, it's just a lack of firepower phobia. This disease is branded on the soul and cannot be cured even after reincarnation. Moreover, Oliha Gang's gun body is harder than the super hard titanium alloy in his previous life. He can shoot for more than half an hour without overheating. If there are weapons like this everywhere, a rare opportunity in another world is wasted. Don't worry, these weapons can only be used by me and will not be given to others. They are basically made on a whim in my spare time. It's already extraordinary that this thing can be made. Because I am not walking the arrogant path of kings. The prince's side is very lively, unlike a certain person with the power of shadow. Times have changed, and you have to control your power when you come out. You can use it for nothing. Mojay also has a lot of magic weapons, all of which were made with the help of Agnes and Ada. Damn it. Damn it now. Sid gritted his teeth and cursed angrily. The defending side would only miss out on victory. He stood up and decided to risk his life. Oh. The slime suit condensed 2 long swords. He adjusted the remaining suit to cover only the vital parts, and then charged towards Mojay. The 2 dark swords swung out after images, cut off countless bullets and bounced them away. What a fierce and heroic advance. Too bad it's not calm enough. Da. Mojay did not aim at his body, but aimed at Sid's feet and fired, and the final advance was suddenly interrupted. Restrictions lifted. Tactical smash. At the same time, the chainsaw sword in Mojay's right hand rotated again, and Sid quickly used the slime sword to parry. But after infusing too much magic power, the chainsaw's speed even exceeded 3,000 revolutions per minute. The slime sword was cut off instantly. In the end, the sword was placed on Sid Kageno's neck. This duel in which he risked his life for his ideal was Mojay's victory. I won. Well, I lost. Sid couldn't accept this fact. If he lost, he would lose, which meant that he could no longer claim to be a powerful person of shadow. Of course he could choose to cheat, but in this case, the last thing he would have left, his self-esteem as a person with the power of shadow, would not be left. Sid gritted his teeth and looked at Mojay. There is no hatred between them, they just bet on their ideal duel and then lost, that's all. But, I still have one last sword. Want to cheat? Quote. I really want to, but how about at least letting me swing this last and strongest sword? As my last blow as a person with the power of shadow. This prince allows it. Mojay thought briefly and then gave the permission. It is rare to encounter such an enemy. He really wanted to see how powerful the final blow would be, embodying Sid Kagener's ideals. No, it should be said that we have to see how brilliantly people can shine for their ideals. He lowered the sword from around Sid's neck. The 2 of them retreated 10 meters away. The first and strongest enemy in my life, I pay you the highest respect, and then I will dedicate my most powerful and unparalleled blow to you. Sid said. On the surface, the powerful person of shadow is just an ordinary person, but in fact, he is the master behind the scenes who secretly guides the story. He decided to fight in this posture, survive to the end. The magic is gathering. Even the atmosphere was shaking. The pitch-black slime sword now emits the most dazzling light. Mojay showed a happy smile. Finally, how about we all declare our names? Declare our ideal names, just like true kings and true shadow warriors. You can't ask for more. I am the shadow, lurking in the shadow, and the one who hunts the shadow. Then witness it. This is my strongest blow, Yamatomic, I am the nuclear bomb. Excellent. Pleasurable. I feel so happy tonight. Let me take the strongest blow. My name is Mojay, and I am the one who wants to conquer, destroy, and recreate the world. Mojay grinned loudly. He opened his eyes wide to admire the gathered magic power. He thought it was really beautiful. It's really eye-catching. Mojay likes to watch the moments when human beings become stupid. Rational people change and sacrifice everything for their ideals, condensing their lives into epic art. It's truly breathtakingly beautiful. In that case, I, the prince, should use it too, so that you can also see. I am the strongest. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.